Guristas Officer battleships have exceptionally strong defenses, relying on massive shield boosts and high resistances. Breaking their tanks solo with standard subcapital ships is nearly impossible, though we will discuss a recently introduced loophole that solves this problem. Offensively, they use damage through torpedoes or cruise missiles. Torpedoes can be mitigated with signature and speed tanking, while the cruise missiles officers deal reduced manageable damage. All battleship officers deal kinetic damage only, which can be hard countered with appropriate resistances. Furthermore, the missile damage can be further reduced by guidance disruptors. When it comes to the newly introduced cruiser and frigate officers, they uniquely use ECM, but both are manageable with the right fit. So, let's take a closer look at Estamel Tharchon, the most powerful Guristas officer. Estamel uses an enormous shield tank, effectively boosting 400 HP per second with a resistance profile nearing 90%. Nearly no regular ship will break her defenses solo. Offensively, she fields torpedoes with a theoretical DPS of 1000. While impressive on paper, these torpedoes are limited to a range of 44 km and are easily mitigated with speed and signature tanking or guidance disruptors. Hard countering her kinetic-only damage further reduces her effectiveness. Her movement pattern fits her torpedo range. She approaches with a micro-warp drive to 33 km and then settles into an orbit at 22 km. Her electronic warfare capabilities are minimal. Estamel carries a single warp disruptor with a range of 24 km and a weak webifier that applies at 50% speed reduction within 13 km. If you stay somewhat at range, these won't pose a significant threat. The primary challenge therefore lies in breaking her tank. The solution to Estamel's defenses lies in bypassing her shield resistances entirely. The new breacher pods found in the Cenotaph battlecruisers from the Deathless Circle provide this. Their unmitigated damage makes them ideal for hunting Guristas Officer battleships in null security space. Fitting the Cenotaph to counter kinetic damage ensures survivability, and its cloak complements solo hunting. Against Estamel and her friends in null security space, this ship will make short work of formidable tanks. Like Estamel, Vepas Minimala can be found in the Guristas home system of Venel. Tactically, Vepas is a less formidable version of Estamel. His defenses and offenses are weaker, but the fundamental approach to engaging him remains the same. I'll leave the stats window open here for a quick review of his ship's attributes. Unlike officers found exclusively in Guristas home systems, Thon Eney can appear in any Guristas null security system with a security status below -0.7. Thon Eney uses cruise missiles at extreme ranges, but her DPS is relatively low at only 600. With a kinetic-only damage profile, her attacks can be easily hard-countered. As with other Guristas officers, the primary challenge in defeating her is her tank. Breaking through requires sustained DPS of at least 1200 against her weakest resistance, which is EM, which also makes a Cenotaph the likely best option. Kaikka Peunato, or whatever this name is another officer found outside the Guristas home systems. He is a weaker version of Thon Eney with similar mechanics but reduced overall strength. I'll leave his fact sheet open here for a few seconds for a quick review. Hanaruwa Oittenen is one of the recently added officers piloting a cruiser-sized vessel. She can be found in any Guristas low security system with a security status of 0.1. Hanaruwa engages at close range using a micro-warp drive and deploys a range of electronic warfare, including newts, a scram, a web, and a unique ECM gem with a strength of 7.9 against all sensor types. Unlike the battleship officers, Hanaruwa's damage profile covers 3 types, making it difficult to hard counter via specific resistances. However, her overall DPS is low at only 200. Her tank is also weak, repairing just 320 shield every 10 seconds at a 17% chance. Despite this, she feels a significant buffer tank. Kiting is not advisable, as both her guns and missiles have significant range. To defeat Hanaruwa, consider fitting a passive tank or using a ship that can counter her energy neutralizers. Nearly all DPS will suffice, as her repair rate is low. Of note is that drone-based ships may have an advantage here, as they are less affected by her ECM. Panola Paatama, makes up these names, can be found in Guristas high security systems with a security status of 0.5. She has the same electronic warfare capabilities as her cruiser counterpart, but her ECM is significantly more dangerous to smaller vessels which typically have lower sensor strength. Both her DPS and tank are manageable, provided her neutralizer is counted with either a passive or appropriately fitted ship. Drone boats remain an effective choice as drones are unaffected by her ECM. With a combination of ECM and newts, Panola is likely to destroy many unsuspecting vessels in high security space and over time provide comical kills on Zika. If you encounter any of these officers, maybe share your experience in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, consider leaving a like and subscribing.